If you are an American farmer, you do not need me to tell you that 2025 has been a devastating year. You are living it. You see it in your fields. You feel it at the fuel pump. You are watching your bottom line, the very foundation of your family's legacy, evaporate. Right now, as we speak, official data from the USDA confirms what you already know in your gut. More than 71% of the Midwest is struggling with critical drought conditions. Your land is dry, your wells are running low. Meanwhile, your input costs are exploding. Market reports show the price of potash, key fertilizer, is up a staggering 21% from just last year. Diesel costs to run your machinery, to haul your grain, to feed your cattle, remain unbearably high. Feed costs are eating away at any potential profit, turning what should be a profitable year into a desperate fight for survival. You are fighting every single day just to break even. You are fighting against the weather, against the markets, against inflation. You are doing your part. You are feeding this nation. And what is your government doing? On October 1st, 2025, while you were checking your crops, the United States government officially shut down. Washington, D.C. closed its doors. They claimed the country was broke. They told the American people there was no money. There was no money for federal workers, nearly 900,000 of them sent home without a paycheck. There was no money for national parks. There was no money to secure the 41 million Americans relying on SNAP benefits. The message was clear. The vaults are empty. We must have austerity. And yet, in that exact same month, Washington found $40 billion. Was that $40 billion for drought relief in Kansas? No. Was it for fuel subsidies for ranchers in Iowa? No. Was it for emergency feed assistance for cattlemen in Texas? Of course not. They sent $40 billion of your money to Argentina. Why? Why is Washington bailing out a foreign country with 200% hyperinflation, a country that has defaulted on its debt 9 times, while you are being left to fail? They will tell you this is complicated foreign policy. It is not. Today, I am going to show you exactly how this $40 billion deal is not just ignoring you. It was actively designed to replace you. This is not a bailout. This is a calculated betrayal. The betrayal, the Argentina beef plan. The $40 billion was the first insult. It was a statement that your government's priorities are not your priorities. But buried inside this deal, hidden from the headlines, is the second insult, the one that is far more devastating, the one that proves this isn't just negligence. It's a direct attack. This is the part the mainstream news is not telling you. As part of this new partnership with Argentina, the White House has confirmed a plan to help lower meat prices for American consumers. It sounds good, doesn't it? But how are they going to do that? Are they helping you, the American rancher, with your skyrocketing diesel and feed costs? Are they offering you any relief so you can lower your prices? No. They are going to do it by quadrupling the import quota for Argentine beef. You heard me correctly. The confirmed numbers are right here, a 400% increase. The quota for Argentine beef, which was 20,000 metric tons, is now being expanded to 80,000 tons. 80,000 tons of foreign beef flooding your market. Now let's break down what this really means for a cattle rancher in Texas or a family farm in Nebraska. Let's call this the mechanism of betrayal. It is a simple 3-step process. Step 1. Your government takes your tax dollars in the form of public debt and sends $40 billion to Argentina to stabilize their currency. Step 2. This means the Argentine beef industry, your direct competitor, is now financially subsidized by the U.S. Treasury. They are given a lifeline that you are denied. Step 3. After subsidizing your competitor, Washington then swings the barn doors wide open, then invites 80,000 tons of that cheap, subsidized beef to flood your market and undercut your prices. This is not a free market. This is a rigged market, a market rigged against you by your own government. The reaction from the people who feed this country, the people you'd think this administration would listen to, was immediate and furious. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association, NCBA, did not stay silent. Their CEO, Colin Woodall, publicly stated that the president is, quote, undercutting the future of family farms. The American Farm Bureau's president, Zippy Duvall, said that even the mention of this deal creates instability for your market. One farmer, speaking to WWenk News, said it felt like a slap in the face. He's right, it is a slap in the face. They are telling you that in order to save the American consumer from high prices that their inflation and their energy policies created, they must sacrifice you. They are forcing you to finance your own replacement. They are making you pay for the rope that will hang you. This is not just policy. This is a calculated decision to let the American heartland bleed so that Washington can play its geopolitical games. The cover story, the China War. Now, when you get angry, when you call your representative, they will tell you this is complicated. They will tell you that you don't understand the big picture. They will tell you this is not about beef, it is about China. This is the official narrative, the cover story, the justification they will use to silence your anger. They will tell you that the United States must stop China's influence in Latin America. And to be fair, that part of the story is real. China is waging a financial war. They will use big, scary, and very real words. Words like de-dollarization. They will tell you how China is trying to get the world to stop using the dollar. Words like BRICS. They will tell you how China is expanding its own economic alliance with Russia, with Saudi Arabia, with Brazil, creating a bloc to oppose the U.S. words like lithium reserves. They will tell you that Argentina has the lithium needed for all our new electric vehicles, and China wants to control it. The argument from the Treasury is simple. If we didn't bail out Argentina, China would have. If we didn't step in, Argentina would have fallen completely into China's orbit. We had to prove that the US dollar is still the only real power in the world. And you know what? That almost sounds like a logical argument. If you are a banker in New York or a politician in DC. But let's ask the real question here. What does a geopolitical game about de-dollarization mean to a farmer in Nebraska who cannot afford his feed? What does a financial war with China mean to a rancher in Montana who is about to be put out of business by 80,000 tons of government-subsidized foreign beef? What does securing lithium reserves for electric cars matter to a man who can't afford the diesel for his tractor? They are playing a global chess game, and they have decided that your farm, your family, your livelihood is a pawn that they are willing to sacrifice. This is not patriotism. This is an elite game, played by elites and paid for by you. The real beneficiaries, Wall Street's bonus. If you are the one being sacrificed, if the American farmer is the one paying the price, who is the one cashing the check? Who really benefits? Is it the Argentine people? No. Their 200% inflation continues. No, it just so happens that this $40 billion bailout perfectly and precisely rescued a handful of Wall Street hedge funds, funds that had gambled billions on Argentina's distressed debt and were about to lose everything. These funds bought Argentina's worthless bonds for 25 cents on the dollar, betting that someone would come in and rescue them. And they were right. The Buenos Aires Times reported that Treasury Secretary Bessent stepped in to protect the profits of like-minded investors at major firms like BlackRock, Pimco, and Discovery Capital. And it just so happens that our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, is the former Chief Investment Officer of Soros Fund Management. He is a Wall Street insider. He is an expert at the exact kind of currency bets that he is now rescuing with your money. So let's summarize this crime. A Wall Street insider, now running the Treasury, uses a secret fund, the ESF, that you have never heard of, to send $40 billion of public money to rescue his old friends and colleagues at BlackRock and Pimco, all under the cover story of fighting China. And the price of this deal is paid by you, the American farmer. The true cost and the betrayal. This brings us to the final, terrible conclusion. This $40 billion deal is not foreign policy. It is a calculated betrayal of the American heartland. It is a message sent directly from Washington, D.C. to rural America. The message is, Wall Street profits are more important than your family farm. The China war is just the blank check they need to sacrifice you. The true cost of this deal is not $40 billion. That is just the Argentina bailout taxpayer cost. That's just the number they write in the newspapers. The true cost is the hollowing out of rural America. The true cost is the final nail in the coffin for the family farms that cannot fight back against their own government. The true cost is the rancher in Texas who has to sell his herd. The true cost is the farmer in Iowa who loses his land. The true cost is the death of the small towns that depend on those farms. Washington may have forgotten the American farmer, but we have not. We will not let them do this in silence. In our next video, we will expose how the same policies that are crushing cattle ranchers are now being aimed at American grain producers as parts of the new Brazil deal. But for tonight, the question remains. When your government uses your tax dollars to subsidize your direct foreign competitor, all while Wall Street takes a cut, is that foreign policy or is it a calculated betrayal?